let's talk about punishment. Specifically capital punishment. Ooh, it's getting kinky on the channel. What are other people saying about this topic?
I know there is disagreement. The left is very anti-death penalty. Even many conservatives are anti-death penalty. I am not anti-death penalty. The primary purpose of criminal justice, the primary purpose is not rehabilitation, the primary purpose is not deterrence, it is retribution.
So, by now you've undoubtedly heard that Trump has signed an executive order that will increase the prominence of capital punishment in our lovely United States. I'm somewhat surprised that Trump is so pro-death penalty, considering that strengthening the government's right to kill people might mean his own head one day. I mean, who holds the power in the United States flip-flops a lot, and it's only a matter of time before the Democrats are back in control. Given that the left generally labels him a fascist and his friends are Nazis, well, they would probably be on the short list of people they want to. But in all seriousness, this executive order really bugs me because I'm more or less opposed to the death penalty. This comes from my deeply held belief that all human life is sacred. I think the only justifiable use of lethal force is self-defense, for immediate, serious harm to yourself or those in your care. Or maybe a justifiable war, but good luck justifying war to me. One of the biggest reasons I feel so strongly about this is my own personal experience with people in authority. I've seen a lot of corruption and abuse. So many instances in my life, from religious authority, educational authority, heck, even people who were in charge of my scouting troop. Yes, a pedo in scouting, I'm surprising no one. But think about how corrupt politicians and police can be. Sure, your guy might be holy and righteous, but eventually, another will be in power. The best way to make sure that no corrupt person in authority will ever take the lives of those he sees as his political adversaries is to establish a precedent that the government does not have the right to kill people, ever. Heck, the person could be innocent. There are stories of people who are executed and oops, later on we find out they weren't guilty. I would never feel sure enough to say, yeah, we should execute that guy. Ruben Cantu is a really good example of this. One of the eyewitnesses' accounts was flawed, and he later recanted, claiming that authorities made him feel pressured to identify Cantu as the culprit, and it just really seems kinda less likely that he did it. There are many instances where a clear-cut case seems to get a little murky after they are gone, and the drive to uncover the truth and expose the institution's corruption frequently dies with the inmate. Another reason that capital punishment really rubs me wrong is that people should be given every possible opportunity to reform, even if that just means accepting their guilt and passing away quietly in confinement. Each person should be given a time and encouragement to become a better person. And the final reason would be cost. Now, comparing putting away someone for life and putting them down, it kind of seems like capital punishment would be cheaper, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The reason it costs more is a bit complicated, and the estimates of how much more vary depending on what you read, so I would encourage you to read that. So basically, I'm entirely against the death penalty. Because it costs us more, everyone should be given an opportunity to reform. They could be innocent, authority could be corrupt and use this kind of power against good people, and it flies in the face of my principle of the sacredness of life.